So welcome everybody. Again, as I was saying is that the marketing part of targeting this demographics of the 55 plus is a huge component because we need to shift the way that we would typically market to this demographics and the sales generation, most of us. So whether you're taking care of your parents or you yourself are needing information, this Jacob Shireman is a really good friend of mine. We are from EXP. He's like a marketing guru. And one of the things that he breaks down for us is funnels and how we can funnel, how to do it, the way to do it. He's going to break it down in very layman's terms for us. It's great. It's easy. And then he's going to give you some tips and tricks on what to put on your website to create a funnel and to get that information. So I will also be dropping in the chat box some stuff that you can actually put on your website that people would want to click and actually download. So he'll tell you how to do that. At the end, Jacob's gonna let you guys open up and ask questions and answers. I would love to do a follow-up with all of you guys, in the next 2 weeks to see how those funnels are going and if you're working them and kind of see what's happening and what you thought of it, and kind of, get together and see how that goes. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Jacob Shireman.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here. So this is stuff that I geek out over. I've been doing marketing for over 17 years. So this is right in my wheelhouse. I'm also a real estate agent at EXP, like she said. And I am a marketer turned realtor. So I got into the industry a little over 3 years ago in the beginning of 2021. And I quickly saw that a lot of real estate agents struggle with marketing and just how to really, change it and kind of customize it for their niche. So that's what we're going to go over today. And I love this topic of funnels because you hear a lot of buzzwords out there. Oh, I need a funnel. I get a lot of agents that tell me, I have a website, I have an IDX website, or just anybody in general, but I need a funnel. And they don't realize that funnel is just, a series of pages or steps that you can put right into your website. So you don't need to go buy another product or ClickFunnels or any of those other things. So I'm going to give you some basic concepts and we're going to kind of correct all this terminology, but show you how to actually tailor it to your industry, especially with the aging in place, the 55 and over. And so that's what we're going to dive into. So a little bit of the beginning, it's going to be a little more kind of boring terminology, but then we're going to get into the good stuff. And I'm going to show you guys a live demo as well and give you a link to that demo. So if you want to go copy it, go for it. Okay. And I'm going to give you guys a lot of lead magnets as well. So let me share my screen and we will get started. So make sure the right screen is being shared. So can everybody see my screen? All right, awesome. So just a little bit about me as well. I've been, like I said, in marketing for over 17 years. I've owned my own full service marketing company for over 13 years. So it's just what I do. My specialty is web design and SEO. So if you don't know what SEO, it's search engine optimization, how you can get found locally. I'm the founder of HiBiz Solutions, which is a full service marketing company. And like I said, a real estate agent here as well. So I want to start off really quick. This is usually one of the first things when I do a lot of marketing consultations or working with our agents. A lot of people misunderstand what a true lead is. So we all understand lead generation is basically kind of the marketing or advertising process to market our products or services. And hopefully somebody will express interest in those. And so usually you get traffic, and then that traffic will turn into a lead because they gave up their information, and then you start nurturing them, and then they turn into a client and sales, and you made some money. So a lead is basically somebody that's expressed interest, but they have given up contact information, so you can contact them anytime you want. So that could be a phone number, a mailing address, an email address, maybe their handle to their social media, maybe they commented on one of your posts. That's a lead because you can actually message them back. Who is not a lead is just traffic to your website or anything that you're posting because you don't know who they are and you don't have a way to get in contact with them. So we're going to cover kind of how to convert a traffic to lead here shortly. I'm going to give you guys a list of lead magnets that will work across all industries for the 55 and over. And you guys can take screen shares or pictures of it, whatever you guys want. So real quick, we want to talk about websites. So websites and funnels are pretty much the same thing. They just have a slightly different function. So website is just basically a series of web pages that people put a URL and go to. And a website is great because it's the hub of all of your marketing. So everything that you're doing marketing wise should flow from your website. So your social medias, your YouTube channel, anything that's external from your website should flow from there. And everything that you're doing on other platforms, your online profiles, your Google business profile, your social media should flow back to your website because that is the hub of your marketing. And it just provides resources and information to people so you can build a rapport with them to promote your services. And it's basically a 24/7 lead capture system, a sales system that will actually be able to work with people, give them information when you're sleeping. That's the whole point of a website. And it should have a mixture of content. It should have, a blog, it should have funnels, landing pages, downloadable information. That is a true all-in-one website. And you're taking those different functionalities like funnels and landing pages and using them to capture leads, which we're going to break down here in a second. So all know the benefits of a website establishes our online presence, especially in today's time. Even when working with the 55 and over, majority of them might not be online, just like somebody in the 30s to maybe late 40s, but they all have different capacities. I have a grandfather who's 86, a grandmother who's 83. My grandma's on social media, my grandpa's not. He recently got his first smartphone about 5 years ago. He sends me way too many emails and jokes, but he's learned how to use email. So a lot of that demographic, especially if you're focusing 55 and over, it's slowly converting to where most 55 people that are just turning 55, probably to 65, have a smartphone. My mom's 65, she has a smartphone. So you just have to think about their different online presences so that way you can reach them. And we're going to break that down what that looks like. It's increased visibility 24/7. Like I said, it's a way to generate leads. One of the biggest problems, and this is a good homework for you guys, is go through your website and mark down every page that you have. How are you capturing a lead on that page? I talk to a lot of real estate agents, a lot of clients in my marketing business, and a lot of them say they have a lead generation problem, but they don't. They're getting a lot of traffic, they're getting a lot of views on their content. But what happens is they have a lead capture problem. They don't have a way to capture leads. They might have an online contact form, but that's not going to cut it. You need to have good call to actions, like download my downsizing guide, or download this list of resources for assisted livings, or this checklist on how to, upgrade your home for aging in place, things to think about. You need to have different ways to contact people in the aging in place community. So that way it generates leads, you're staying competitive. And the biggest benefit of a website, it's the biggest cost-effective way to reach a wide audience than other traditional forms of advertising as well. So this all comes to this buzzwords, which is funnels. And funnels is, again, just a series of web pages. So you don't need to fall into this trap that I got to go buy a client funnel or a sales funnel or a click funnel. You can implement them into your current website if you already have one, your IDX website, if you're a real estate agent. You can do that because a funnel is basically a sequence of action. So we're taking a couple pages and we're taking them through a process from, submitting their information to downloading a guide to scheduling a consultation to, if you're an agent, to go look at properties, to, fill out a pre-approval form. There's so many different steps, and every industry is going to be a little bit different, but that's what a funnel is thinking about that client kind of sequence from a traffic, a lead, to a client, to onboarding, to the end of the sales process. What a funnel does that a website doesn't is that it helps keep your audience focused. Now, a traditional funnel is not going to bring you traffic like a website will with local SEO. A funnel is meant to process the traffic that you send to it from your social media, your paid ads, your Google business profile, whatever it is. You send traffic, your funnel or landing page, which we'll talk about here in a second, will process that traffic for you and capture that lead. And it has pretty much one main kind of conversion goal. Now, what's great about a funnel versus a website is it's going to help alleviate a lot of distractions. If you send somebody straight to your homepage to find the information they're looking for, so a good example is a real estate agent. If you send everybody to the homepage whether they're a buyer, seller, 55 and over, veteran, whatever it is, you're hoping that they're going to stay focused long enough to find the right information that fits them. But if you were to actually send them directly to customized information for that specific niche or target audience, your conversion rate is going to skyrocket because they didn't get distracted. And plus, with a website, there's a lot of stuff to click on, a lot of things to read and get distracted on, and then they move about their business and you just had a traffic and not a lead. So sales funnels, client funnels, funnels in general are important because they'll help create customers. They're also going to help monitor and track because you can see where people, what step they're getting hung up on. And this will help us implement, especially in the 55 and over, maybe they're not getting past the first step because it's a tech problem. And I'm going to give you some ways to kind of avoid the tech problem, to go above and beyond than what you would for probably somebody that's younger. But this will help us monitor and track how effective our marketing and our funnels are. We can focus our efforts more by narrowing down, specific groups. So again, 55 and over, maybe they're looking for a 55 and over community, or they're looking, if you're in construction, they're looking to upgrade their home. You can focus on that specific niche. And then your funnel, after they've gone through, they've completed whatever product or service that you're offering, then you can ask for reviews, referrals as a part of that step-by-step process. Keep that. So I'm going to give you an example of a sales funnel, kind of what the process would look like. I'm going to use a real estate agent as an example. So let's say you send traffic to your website from any type of your, advertising sources, whether it's local SEO, social media, maybe a webinar that you did. You could have them go visit your buyer's funnel. Then they start viewing listings. And then that listing is going to force them to register and subscribe. So now you've contacted their information. You're going to schedule, then have it go out and schedule a consultation with them. And then after they schedule that consultation, then you're going to send them an intake questionnaire. And then you could do this via email. I have people that have a specific printed guide that they will courier over same day for those people as well. You can send, a shorter presentation of generic information for them to watch and link it to a YouTube video. So that way, when you get with them, you don't have this long appointment time giving them the same information you would give everybody, but you can actually spend time building rapport with them, which is super important in this niche as well. Then you meet with the buyer, then you start sending listings and showings, then you go, offer and negotiate, go under contract, and then you start collecting all the documents, you go to closing, and then you ask for referrals and testimonials. So all of this can be an automated sequence that can help you stay on track, and it's pushing your client through a system or a series of steps. Now, what is the difference between a funnel and a landing page? So a funnel is going to have a series of steps throughout this whole kind of, for example, a real estate agent, the buying process. But a landing page has one goal, one main information. So a good example would be, a buyer's guide, a seller's guide, if you're a real estate agent, 55 and over communities, how to downside, estate planning. I'm about to give you a whole list of lead magnets that you guys can take away. But that page is giving information about downloading that resource or whatever it is, capturing the information, and then emailing them a link, which is super important, emailing them a link to that resource or guide, or have them select an option if they rather have it mailed to them, especially if they're in that community and it's better for them. But that will keep them focused. There's nothing to click on but to give up your information. And I'm going to show you an example of that. So whatever we do with landing page, the whole point of it is to alleviate distractions and to really increase a conversion goal on one thing with good, strong call to actions. So as we're thinking about the landing pages that we're going to create, the funnels that we're going to create, whether it's, again, if you're an agent, you can do a buyer seller's funnel, 55 and over funnel, whatever niches you serve, you can make specific funnels to that. So one of the websites I'm working on right now that we're in the process of finishing up is for an agent in Utah that is specializing in 55 and over. And so the funnels that we have for him are, 55 and over communities. And then we have assisted living, estate planning. So we have different funnels. And the reason why is even on some of those services he doesn't offer, but he has a huge list of resources. And that's what he wants to become in his area, is a list of resources for everything senior living. That way, everybody will reach out to him. He's going to be known for that. And that will, you don't know, even though somebody's going into assisted living and you might not be able to sell a house or whatever your services are, but recommending somebody that's credible, you don't know who they know, and they might refer them to you when somebody needs to transition as well. So what makes an effective funnel landing page is it's high converting, which means where all the traffic we send to them, it's converting them into leads. And then from those leads to clients and sales. So basically, no matter if you're building a web page, a funnel, or a landing page, you need to have a clear, unique selling proposition. Why should they download your resource? Why should they trust you? Why should they work with you? And have those points outlined throughout the page. So your strongest selling point should be at the top as a header, and then your kind of sub-selling points will be the different sections of that page. You want to have engaging hero shots. One of the biggest things I see on websites that I do a lot of free evaluations for people on websites. And the biggest thing I see is I never see a photo of the person that the future prospect is going to be working with. So you'll see a lot of generic stock photos, which is fine if you're showing homes and maybe some seniors or whatever. But when you're talking about yourself, you want to make sure there's pictures of you. And if you see, like in an example, your trusted real estate advisor, have your picture right front and center, because people start connecting with you, especially in this digital world. People want to see you. If you have a video of you talking about what it's like to work with you, even better, because video always converts better. So have as much pictures that are real, that are showing you or your team as much as possible. Have compelling benefits on why they should work with you, examples of what you've done in the past, inspirational social proof, so all of those testimonials of people that you have worked with, and make sure you have strong call to actions, especially for this group. You want to tell them exactly what to do. So when I work with people, I always tell my agents, whatever your call to action is, whether it's social media, whatever you're doing, make sure that it's detailed enough and very straightforward and simple as if you were giving it to a teenager. A good example is we had our niece living with us. Like, if I say keep the kitchen clean, I'll get, oh, you didn't tell me about that. Well, it's in the kitchen, so I assumed it. So that's the same thing with websites, is that you want to be very clear on what the next step is to work with you, and keep that next step very simple so they'll actually want to click on it and give you that information as well. So what we're going to do with these funnels and landing pages is we got to have ways to give up people's information. And so one of the biggest ways is to give something of value while they give up their valuable information so you can contact them. And this is super important. So these are just, I tried to keep it very generic because I know we have a mix of industries here where it's not all just real estate, but there's so many things you can do, both that's techie, that's still traditional mailers, calling. So I'm going to go through a lot. So if you want, just take pictures of the screen. I Googled a bunch of things. There's even more on there. I just couldn't get them all on these, I think, 4 slides. So you could do ebooks or guides, downloadable guides. And again, anything that's downloadable, if it's something that you can print off and have ready ahead of time, it doesn't have to be expensive, that you can mail off and have literally to them same day or the next day, it would be great. Or if it's somewhere close, go drop it off at their doorstep and ring the doorbell, drop it off. But you could do a guide to downsizing, aging in place, a home modification checklist. One thing that people don't think about when modifying homes, and I didn't think about this till Heather and I talked about it, but I had this happen with a client. And they went to change something in their house with the plumbing. And when they made that change in the plumbing, the inspector came out to pass, what they modified, and he realized the rest of the house, the plumbing in the house was not up to code. So he had to, in order to get that signed off and get water turned back on, he had to spend another $15,000 to get all the plumbing and everything back to the way it was. And that happens a lot with seniors aging in place. They might want to modify the home they've had for 20 or 25 or 30 years. And now they got to spend more than that 10,000 that they were, hoping to spend, because their house is not up to code, especially electrical. We had a house recently that still had aluminum wiring in it because it's never been updated. So things like that are not, going to get turned on if those are not brought up to code. They might not have the money to do it. So before they go to tear into that project, it might make more sense to sell their home and then get them into, a single level living 55 and over. Ultimate guide to 55 and over communities, estate planning, senior home safety checklist. You can do checklist and worksheets, moving into a retirement community, moving to a new home checklist. And think about, it might not just be the senior that's downloading these. It might be their kids or their grandkids that are helping them transition because they're not tech savvy. And so they're doing the research, and maybe they're footing the bill. So you got to think about who else might be accessing these resources as well. Then webinars and workshops are my favorite. People don't utilize these enough, because a great thing about a workshop is you can have these be evergreen. I love doing one thing we're working on right now for our niche. My spouse is a veteran, and so him and I are working on focusing on the veteran community and VA loans, because most of them don't understand how they work, and most real estate agents don't understand how they work. And so we're very big advocates for that. So we have a webinar that we're going to do with a mortgage agent who's a genius on those. And so that'll be something that we run an ad to, and it's on autopilot for them to sign up, register, and then we can follow up with those leads as well. So a webinar or workshop are great to do. So you can talk about, understanding Medicare versus Medicaid. And you can bring in guests. That's the best part. You don't have to do this alone. Even the mortgage agent is going to split the ad costs with us because they want the leads, and we agree to give them those leads as well. So you can bring in a professional talk. You could do a Zoom and just upload it so it looks live. Financial planning for retirement, talk about that, what it looks like to transition from your home. So there's so many topics you can do. Templates and planners. You can do monthly budgets, meal plans. A lot of seniors might not be able to cook and care for themselves in certain aspects. So having, some type of planner or resource to help them with that. Informational brochures, infographics, newsletters are great. My grandpa literally every day, same time, sits at his email and forwards me a lot of things, and they will read those as well. So newsletters about, trends, resources, and especially if their kids or their grandkids are the ones reading this, they might want to stay up on this because they know it's eventually coming for their parent or their loved one. Tips and tricks on senior living, what to watch out for, maybe newest gadgets to make their life easier. Just things to keep your business and yourself front of mind, because again, you don't ever know when they're going to refer you to somebody. There's online courses that you can offer to take, talking about housing trends. Resource lists are probably the best. If you can become the biggest directory, and one thing that we're putting on this website we're working on right now is they'll just have to sign in with their email address and phone number when they go to it. But we're creating a directory of contractors and in-home, assisted living and nurses and everything that they would need in that senior living kind of space. That way, no matter what they're looking for, they can find those resources there. And all they had to do is give up their name, email address, and phone number to register to get access to that list. Or again, it's something you can mail off to them as well. Essential contacts for senior care, a list of providers and contractors and other professionals. So there's so many lead magnets you can do. This is how you're really going to be able to get leads, to come to that funnel or landing page and get them and put them on nurturing to be able to convert them into clients and leads. And I always show this because you're going to start to see what I'm talking about. Everybody, this is one of the common questions I get. Which one should I implement? Should I implement first? Should I build a website? Should I do a funnel? Should I do a landing page? And the answer is you should have all of these, because when I show you a sample of a funnel, it's literally just a part of your website, a page that has an automation system attached to it. So you don't need to build a whole nother system. This should all be all in one. One of the things I see with real estate agents and other businesses is they have about 20 different platforms they're using, and they don't even know why they're using them. So keep things simple. Think about put yourself in your client's shoes and think about what they would do, especially somebody that's older. What are all these steps they have to go through? So keep things simple, keep everything in one place so you have one thing to promote. This is why your website is the hub of all your marketing, because it has your funnels, your client funnels, your landing pages, your newsletter sign up, your blog, your contact forms. Everything about your business should be there. If you don't have a website or whatever, how do you build one? There's so many platforms out there. Probably the most common is WordPress, is what we build all of our clients in. If you're a real estate agent, you probably have a CRM, IDX website like Lofty, KV Core. You can build everything in there if you want. I always recommend to people, they always have their own website. That way, no matter what brokerage you need or whatever you're changing, you should always own your marketing resources. And there's several ways to do that. You can hire a web designer. You can go on Fiverr or Upwork and have them built. You can hire companies like ours. You can do them yourself. There's so many tutorials out there on YouTube. I have an entire YouTube dedicated around marketing. So there's so many free videos on there that'll help you kind of take that to the next level. So what I want to do real quick, because I know I don't want to keep talking, I want to give you guys plenty of time for question and answers, is I'm going to show you kind of a real quick kind of idea of a website funnel, and I'll drop this in the chat if you guys want to, go snoop around and look later. You guys can do that. But this is kind of a real estate funnel that we do, a complete website system. And so I'll just scroll through some important parts. One of the biggest things on a website is your homepage. The way to think of it is that it's an index. It should have a way to get to every page and resource and information on your website. So if people land here, they can quickly find where they go to. So you see right away, I show them the area we service, who we are, and I try to immediately get them to go in one or two funnels. I don't want them to start searching. I don't want them to schedule a consultation. I want them to go to the buyer's funnel, the seller's funnel right away. Again, there's the hero shot. They know exactly who they're working with, some reasons why people like to work with me. And then I show featured properties. So this could be featured, 55 and over communities, whatever you're doing, your services, and then having social proof right away, resources and guides right away. So if they were to click one of these, it takes them right to a landing page that right at the top, keeping it simple, that asks for their first name, their last name, their email address. You can add phone number. And one thing I will tell you about any lead magnet, do not redirect them automatically to your lead magnet. Give them a generic thank you message or send them to a thank you page. It says, thank you for requesting to download one of our free resources. Keep it very generic. Please check your email for a link to download. And the reason why you want to do this is the majority of people are going to give you john@johndoe.com. So you want to make sure you're going to give a real lead. And that way it's in their email and they're not going to resubmit the form 1,000 times trying to get that lead as well. So have those go to, the landing pages to download those leads, join your mailing list. So as you see, there's so many different ways to capture a lead on this page. Have your blog articles. This is going to help with local SEO. So you see here, we talk about dog-friendly places, farmers markets. There you can talk about different things that tailor to seniors, maybe top senior activities to do in Houston. You can have all kinds of things. You can have a feed of your YouTube channel, make it easy to watch right from the web page. And then again, a quick form to fill out. And then I'll show you really quickly one of the funnels, and then I'll show you the senior funnel, and then we'll get to some questions as well. One thing that I do in these funnels, no matter what industry I'm working with, is I want to capture the lead where they're at in their journey. So if we use a buyer, even 55 and over, we focus on that. They might not be ready to move tomorrow. So they might not schedule a consultation with you because they're not ready to work with you. So if that's the only thing you have, as you keep saying, schedule a consultation, you're never going to get that lead because they're not ready to schedule a consultation. But maybe they're ready to start searching for houses. So if they book a consultation, I have my Calendly embedded so they can book right from there. They don't have to leave. Again, trying to keep things easy as possible. If they click start searching, I redirect them to an IDX search form. And again, you just adapt this to your industry, why they should work with you. So again, schedule a consultation. This would capture their lead and force them to register. The steps of the home buying process. So whatever industry you are in, what's the step of remodeling your home or whatever you're in. But in this home buyer journey, they need to get pre-approved. So I would send them to a pre-approval form that captures the lead, and I can have a part of the automation based on how they answered, go to a specific, preferred mortgage broker that I liked working with. Then book a consultation. And then once they book a consultation, it would kick out an email for them to complete this questionnaire before the appointment. So I have that as well. And again, you could always mail this out ahead of time or have a PDF that they could print off themselves and fill out and give to you. Yes, it might be a little more work, but if another agent offers that or another company offers that easy service, they're going to get the lead and the client. And then once they complete the questionnaire, it's going to send them a link to start searching. So that way I can see what they're looking at if it matches what they said in the questionnaire. And then we're going to send videos talking about, the buyer's presentation, what's the process like of buying a home, and all of those things. And so this automation would move us through the process, and it's not emails that we actually have to send out ourselves. Again, another resource in the funnel for them. Maybe they're a year or two out from, downsizing or relocating, but maybe they just want some information. Well, I can give them a downloadable resource that will give them the information, and now they're in a drip campaign in my CRM that I can nurture them and stay top of mind with my newsletters. And they got a guide, and a year or two from now, I got a sale in my pipeline. So don't just think about the immediate, think about the future too, so you can keep your sales pipeline full. Frequently asked questions, again, testimonials, and then an easy way to get started. And then I wanted to show you kind of what we're doing with this funnel. So one of the funnels we have for Skylar is we're doing 55 and over. So this is kind of a preliminary draft we're still working through. But right away, one of the tips that he came up with, which was great, is he said, can we put a form like first front and center? Because he said, I feel like most people that are older are not going to scroll very much, and they just want to go ahead and call me. So what we did, instead of just having the booking right away, they would fill this out. That way, if they get confused on the Calendly or booking an appointment, I've already got their email address, even if they didn't schedule an appointment. So when they click schedule date and time, it's just going to load the calendar widget, and then they can select their date and time. But if they don't make it that far, I can always, or he can always follow up with them as well. And then we talk about welcome to your golden years. What is a 55 and over community? Why choose? And another section we're going to add to this is 55 and over communities versus single level living, because there's a lot of people that grandkids might live with them, young grandkids. Well, they can't do that in the 55 and over community. So giving them other resources for them, and he's going to add a quiz on, which is going to ask for their information, their lead capture. He's going to add a quiz and have them answer questions of what they're looking for. So it'll tell them based on their answers, oh, we recommend single level living instead of 55 and over. So things like that, benefits of a senior community. So all these different call to actions are going to capture their information. They can search for properties, search for those communities already in the area on the IDX, why you should work with them, the steps to the home buying process, download his easy downsizing guide, frequently asked questions. So you can give as little or as much info as somebody's willing to have, but you're not waiting till the bottom of the page to have a call to action to capture their lead. And that's what's very important. If you take away anything from today, don't wait till the end of your website to ask for a call to action. It should be in every section. You should have some type of call to action if it pertains to that section. And so this is a sample of a funnel, but if you look, it's a part of his website. You can go right back to his homepage. And this will kick out an automation and a sequence of steps for the funnel. And you can see how we tailored kind of that homepage look for his website. So this would be kind of a funnel, and that's what I do. I tell people to go through and write down everything that you offer, every step and every sequence and every information that you want to give to somebody. And that's how you can start building your funnel, customizing your website. So that way it is kind of an all-in-one system. And then if you want to automate things, I have videos on this on my channel, so you don't have to feel like you have to learn right this second. But Zapier is a great way to automate and to get leads from your website into your CRM, kick out emails and automation. So that way you're kind of kicking off that funnel and those workflows to save you time so you don't get lost in the process. Because a lot of times leads don't get nurtured or sent information in time, and then they end up going with another agent or another company, depending on your industry. So I know that's a lot of information. I wanted to make it as practical as I can because I can geek out on this for about another 10 hours. So does anybody have any questions that I can answer for you? So
I don't see anybody. First of all, I just have to say, I appreciate you like breaking it down for us. Just because it really, it's overwhelming for many of us, but I think yet it's so simple at the same time. When you, as you say, when you're geeking out about it, you're really like making it very plain and simple for us to use, the diagrams and everything else. And I know that I've seen you do this several times, but one of the things that I really enjoy is when we get to teach each other those little tips and tricks and tidbits on aging, like how we can effectively help ourselves, because the trajectory of our market, as we all know on this call, is skyrocketing at a huge pace, and it's only going to get bigger, and so but I appreciate everybody being here, and we do have about 20 minutes, and I'd love to hear anybody.
I saw some earlier.
Did you? I did put in the chat box, I did put like 2 things that you guys can use, to get a lead and have them download. You saw a downsizing guide. There's a lot of great information out there. I know that Jacob and I were talking about doing some sort of specials if they're in your community with 55 specials and stuff. So that would be, senior specials and
Go use ChatGPT. It'll give you 1,001 ideas, and it'll write the whole thing for you. And then just go transfer it to Canva, and you got some free, easy to use guides that you can send out.
Okay, somebody open it up. Corey, I'm sure you've got a question.
If it's a marketing question, go for it. I mean, it doesn't have to be just about funnels. Maybe, if you're struggling in a specific area, go for it.
Hi there.
Hi,
I'm from North Carolina. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Lisa?
Good. So I also came from marketing, brand marketing into real estate. And I'm in a coaching program. So who has encouraged me to become a niche, build out a niche. So I've chosen the senior space because it's dear to my heart. And I just got my SRES. So I'm really just starting to gather information. I saw the senior call, so I'm hoping to start working, being part of that community. So this is fantastic. I'm also just starting to learn funnels and lead magnets and build out my CRM. So I'm just right at the cusp of all of this goodness that you're talking about, Jacob and Heather. So I really appreciate this webinar. Right now I have my company's website, which is like a headbanger for me. It's Moxie. It's really complicated. It's very difficult. So I'm looking for a resource there to transition to something that's more manageable.
Yeah, so there's a couple options. So on my YouTube channel, I go over how to build your own site. There's free resources, how you can do it on your own. You can book a consultation with us if you rather just outsource it. We can show you what we have to offer. But I do on my YouTube channel, there's everything from recording, the series that's going out this week is all about how to record easy video content with a basic setup and basic software where you just click to record. So we cover everything marketing on there. And even if you're not in real estate, it's the same, same type of information. You just try to, customize it to your market. But there's some options on there on even how to use your current, IDX or CRM to build out your sites. There's WordPress, there's Wix, there's Weebly. My preference is always WordPress. It just performs well for SEO. It can grow with you, and it's, I think 48 or 52% of websites use WordPress nowadays. So that's where you could start. Like I said, if you have any questions, just let me know.
But plus, I like the idea of it not being tied to a brokerage, because I transitioned brokerages about 2 years ago, and it was horribly painful. So at least I would have my own domain name, but owning my own website and my own destiny, I think, is something I want to do. So this was really helpful. I'm going to check out your YouTube channel for sure, and perhaps be in touch.
Yeah. So I put the storms. Yeah, we had really bad storms yesterday. And we didn't even know. We're cleaning. We had a tile floor put in, so we're cleaning up all this dust. We're like, wow, it's raining. Our lights flickered, and then literally, we're on the border of Katy, Texas, and 20 miles from Houston, and it literally is demolished, flooded. There was tornadoes. So We're good. We were in like a little bubble, but it is pretty bad around here. So thank you for the.
Donna, I do have somebody I'm bringing in for Facebook. We've got people up our sleeves. However, going into another thing, Jacob and I should say, are hosting Google Business Profile with the National Aging in Place Council. So if anybody's a member here, we will be hosting that on Thursday, May 30th. If you are an XP real estate agent, and you're part of EXP Seniors Network, we host these all the time there. And Jacob's going to be doing that on the Friday, May 31st at 3 p.m. But if you, again, National Aging in Place Council, Jacob will, and I will be doing a date later in June. We just didn't have enough dates in our schedules, but we will do something for this group later down the line. But I do have somebody scheduled for Facebook for us. Jacob, somebody did say, I hope you weren't affected. She needs help with the Google business help.
YouTube, it's on my
YouTube, right? YouTube. Give us a little like glimpse of what you're going to be doing for Google Business.
Yeah, so with Google Business Profile, one, the statistic is 56% of local businesses have not claimed their profile. So that's a huge opportunity right there. And then secondly, most real estate agents or even businesses that I've seen with their profile, they don't even update it. They just fill out the profile information, they never touch it again. So if that's you, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. So I'm going to show you guys in that segment is the areas that you need to focus on how to boost your local SEO and dominate your local market for free, because Google Business Profile leads that come in are probably one of the highest quality leads that you can get. Because if you think about it, and you're going to go look for a restaurant or a hair salon near you, you take to Google and you search restaurants near me, and then you start reading reviews and make sure the reviews match the pictures and the pictures match the image descriptions and what people are posting. People do the same thing for real estate and any other business. So why aren't we using that to its full effect? So you should be posting daily. There's products that you can add, even as a real estate agent or a mortgage agent or healthcare or wherever industry you're in. You can add products in there. And then on top of that, there's questions and answers. Most people wait for questions. You don't have to wait. You can just put your question in there that most people would ask, because everything that's text-wise that goes in there is free game for SEO to help you rank. So if you strategically think about what content you're putting out, and it's just small, short paragraphs, you can rank. I have agents in like busy areas like Phoenix ranking as little as 2 months, posting daily, and they're getting 6 to 7 calls a week steadily. That is free, no ad spend, no doing the little green check that says screened because they're paying for ads. So that's what we're going to be covering.
Which is funny because Donna said she can't get verified in Google Business if she does one of these. Which is that a paid feature or?
If you have the green check, that is the paid feature. It's for the ads. And then if you're having trouble getting suspended, we can help with that too. It's one of the biggest things. One of the biggest reasons real estate agents and even mortgage brokers and kind of that thing where they're working out of their broker's office and they're kind of an independent contractor, never put your address. Addresses screw up everything with Google Business Profile, because now they want you to show your signage, your lease agreement, a utility bill, and you don't have that as an agent. And plus, when you have 20 plus people working out of the same office with different business names, it's a red flag for spam. So you say, I don't have clients come to me, so don't publicly put my address. And then you can put your service areas, and then you're good to go, because they have increased the what they're requiring you to be able to get a Google Business Profile. They're making it even harder now. So there's specific requirements for each business. So we're going to go over all of that. And it's on my YouTube channel if you want to get some of it. There's a lot of information.
All right, I'm bringing you back, Jacob. Trust me, there is so much great content and marketing that we have. It's fabulous. And over the years, I've been working with all of our agents to really like hone it into the 55 market, because this market's huge. It's huge. And I love that the senior home coaching side of what we're doing, the Corey, who's on this call, I love how Corey's, working with you guys on, on scripts and how to talk to people. And then you've got Catherine, who's bringing in lingo and players of the game. It takes a lot of moving parts to make you successful in this industry. And all of us coaches in the senior home here, each play a very specific role. I'm a marketing and social media person. That's what I love. I love bringing in people from all over to be able to teach us tips and tricks, because everybody does it differently. But the best part is that I really need somebody for myself, to break it down in a very specific, easy way to understand, because the word funnels is just and everything else starts to, your head starts to spin around. So when Jacob's like, oh, this word and this word, they really mean the same. It's kind of nice to know that I don't have to remember that it means something different.
Right.
So, but again, this is recorded. I am going to put this recording up so you guys can see it. You guys can make sure, if you need a screenshot of something, you can go back and check it out. I do have probably 7 years worth of marketing recordings over on my YouTube channel. I do this all the time. I love it. I love bringing in people. It's fun. But marketing is definitely a component to this, and social media. And a lot of people struggle with that part. So when somebody can hold your hand and help you, it's nice. So thank you, Jacob. Appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime.
Anybody else have more questions? No? Okay. Well, it is 3:50, so we'll get on with it. I appreciate everybody taking the time to come here. If you are a member of National Aging Compliance Council, I really look forward to seeing you guys with Jacob on Thursday, May 31st. If you're not, I promise you I will bring Jacob back for Google. I promise you. And then we'll figure out some more classes to come in and teach with you guys. We're doing TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and how to present yourself, what to talk about, what kind of conversations that, you could be having on social media that are going to help people. And remember what Jacob was saying, it's not just the older demographics you're also targeting. It is also the sandwich generation, which is us. Most of us on here at least. So again, Jacob, thank you. Anybody else?
Can I just ask a question? So I'm on the Catherine call, and I've switched from commercial real estate, residential, specifically for getting involved with seniors. It's something that's been on my heart, but just due to different things, I am going to change brokerages. So I can appreciate what Lisa was saying as far as, mine uses Moxie. It is clunky. It's difficult. I know that I need to get my own website, no matter what brokerage I go to. I feel like everything I've been learning, it's like, downloading from a fire hose. I've heard people use that term before, and I'm stuck. I need to get unstuck. But to move forward with a website, I guess I could go on YouTube, but I'd probably sit there for 5 years, like looking at everything, wanting it to be perfect. So if I'm hearing you right, you do websites also.
Yeah, that's our main kind of
Okay.
bread and butter for our marketing company. We do everything. So there's a link to book a consultation.
Yeah, I saw the link, so I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, we can help you with that. We can recommend software, CRMs, everything you need. If you want to be totally independent, we can recommend anything that you need.
Okay, because watching it this way, it's like HGTV, that it looks so beautiful and it's so easy to remodel. Yeah. And then you try and do it, and then it doesn't work out that way. So
That really happens a lot with templates. People will go get like a website template and they'll say, oh, I like this. I just got to fill in the blanks. And then they start switching out graphics. They're like, well, their pictures were nicer than mine. And so
Yeah.
it doesn't look the same. So it happens, but there's an option for everybody. So.
Right. Well,
But
you did
it's
great.
that-
Thank you both very much.
Yeah. You're welcome. It's that funnel part, you know, it's grabbing the leads. And one of the things is being able to put information on there. I know Corey, who I keep pointing out over here. Corey does a lot of, you know, living will trusts and talking about trusts and putting together senior events. That's another great way to grab those leads, you know, and putting that stuff up. So, you know, there's so many great ideas out there, and you know, it's all the way down to, you know, a downsizing guide. Or, you know, as the sandwich generation, a lot of us are kind of flailing, like, what do we do with our parents if something were to happen? Where do we find paperwork? What are all the questions? And that's like, where do you get started kind of a thing. That would be a link that most people would want to click on and be like, oh, I need that information. You know, and so if you could just tailor it and like, you know, make sure that you put your logo and put your stuff on it, then you've got to cater to your niche and what you know, what you're doing. But again, goes back to the financial, you know, not the financial, the information. They want information. They want free information. You know, so why not get their information in order for them to get the information? That's all. All righty. That's it for us. Anybody? All right. We will see you next time with Google My Business Profile next month. However, I am doing Facebook at the beginning of June. I've got to get the date exactly and I'll get back to you guys. Anything else? And if there's anything else you guys want to see, email me. Happy to talk to you guys about it and bring in somebody to teach it for us.
Thank you guys very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.